Hi there. In this class we're going to look at some updated case studies in response to some of the questions that I've been asked from you guys. I'm going to include a few more case studies. This is the first part. I'm going to try and release as many of these as I can. If you're in a particular sector where you'd like to see if I can find some case studies for or draw on our own experience, let me know in the discussions tab. And I will do my very best to do that. So I've got 3 additional case studies here for you today. I'm going to run through these super quick. In 2 of the 3, I've actually quoted the source where you can find out a lot more information about these, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. So the first one that I wanted to discuss was a case study from Hubspot. Now, many of you may be aware of Hubspot. They're essentially an inbound marketing platform, and their target market is very much B2B, so business to business. Now, the challenge that HubSpot were facing is they wanted to find a more effective way to generate new leads, but also engage the existing followers they had on their Twitter account. They did want to increase sales conversion rates, the sort of level of conversions they were getting from Twitter, and improve their overall return on investment for their marketing and advertising dollars. So the solution for HubSpot was to use promoted accounts to target B2B decision makers with marketing related interests. So we've spent a lot of time in this course talking about promoted tweets and Twitter cards, but HubSpot's approach was very much to go down the promoted accounts route. Some of the results that HubSpot found were by connecting with a highly relevant audience through the promoted accounts and increasing engagement through some promoted tweets they did as well. They experienced gains in sales, conversion rates and return on investment at a significantly lower cost per lead. And as you can see on here, there was a 150% increase in the sales that were generated through Twitter during the campaign period. They were achieving a 46% lower cost per lead than what they were getting previously, and overall marketing ROI was 32%. So that's not bad at all. You know, if they're investing $100 in Twitter ads, for example, they're getting $132 back, or roughly thereabouts. So a really nice case study of showing how Twitter can be used not only through just promoted tweets, but also with the promoted accounts as well. And the real trick with this one is to make sure that you're targeting the right audience. So if you are a business-to-business supplier, you need to be targeting the decision maker. So spend some time with those targeting parameters and really try and understand exactly how it is you can reach the people that are most important to you. This next example is this is actually taken from Twitter's own success stories, and I thought I'd share this because, again, they're a business to business and they have a software platform that alerts users when their website is down, so if there's any problems with the server and that sort of thing. Now, the reason why I've included this one, you can see the link on the bottom of this slide, and if you were to pause the video and type that into your web browser, you'll be able to go and find out the full case study on Twitter's own website. The reason why I've included this one is, yes, they were driving website conversions, but it's the quality of the audience, the quality of the Twitter user that they were finding, and I shall tell you more now. So the most impactful thing to come out of this particular Twitter campaign is the huge clients that they were able to reach and convert. So as a result of the campaign, which I shall tell you more about in a second, they were reaching clients such as Apache, Citrix, Subaru and Unilever. They were also in touch with over 40 different state governments after targeting their particular services. So these guys really aimed big. You know, they've got a platform, they've got a service that would be suitable to small businesses, no doubt, but they really aimed for the big boys. And that's a real good lesson to take from this particular example. So to find the people they were interested in, or would be interested in their services rather, they were trying to reach out to really niche audiences. So Pingometer used username targeting to target people who follow handles such as Status Cake and AlertBot, who are pretty much competitors or complementary services in their industry. And they were targeting people who followed those who were similar to those followers. The usernames that they chose to target belonged to similar B2B software companies, so they were able to reach an audience that had already shown an interest in the type of service that they provide. Now, that's really interesting and key, because if you have competitors, bigger players in the social space maybe, then you can target their followers and people who look like their followers, as we've discussed in the targeting classes. So the people we're reaching tend to be, a quote from these guys, the people we're reaching tend to be decision makers or manager level and above. They're on Twitter and they're using it to learn about new products. A few days into the campaign, we sent out an email to new clients asking them how they heard about us. 9 out of 10 respondents said they clicked on our Twitter ad. Now that's a quote from Tyler Scott, the founder of Pingometer. And again, what a really convincing testimonial to the power of Twitter ads. If not only they were generating that level of interest and leads, but people were actually being able to remember where they came in contact with the brand. So Pingometer created several different website cards and they tried different tweet copy to learn which elements drove the most clicks to their website. So for example, while the tweet featuring a link to their username saw a high number of retweets and favourites, they saw twice as much traffic to their site by removing the username link and keeping the focus squarely on the call to action of visit now. Now that really does go back to what we were saying in earlier lectures and earlier classes around really making sure we concentrate on the overall objective here. If the overall objective is to drive website clicks, let's remove all the other links and all the other opportunities to distract a potential visitor to our website by just making that call to action stand out nice and clearly. That again actually is echoed in the final example I've got for you in this lecture, which is from Kevin Hageman. Now Kevin Hageman is a freelance design strategist, digital marketing consultant, I suppose, and again you see the link there that I've quoted at the bottom of this slide, so you can find out more about the case study. Essentially, Kevin tried 4 promoted tweets, and Kevin used these promoted tweets with a $100 total budget. The screenshot I'm showing you here is from the $50 he'd spent so far. So he got given basically $100 worth of Twitter ad credits, and he decided to give it a try and see what worked best. Now, as you can see, there's a number of promoted tweets on there, and you can see the tweets that were promoted. Now, it's interesting to note that the one with the highest click-through rate, not by much, but the one with the highest click-through rate, also it features a hashtag, Be Visible, instead of the one at the top, which says mobile earlier on in the tweet. But the Be Visible hashtag is also clickable, so maybe Kevin wants to try now dropping the hashtags altogether and just remaining on giving prominence to that call to action. There's a couple of interesting byproducts here. Yes, he was able to drive in excess of 120 people to his website for less than $50. Now, if Kevin's going to be using pay-per-click advertising, maybe through Google, he'd probably be paying more than 55 cents a click if he was targeting key terms related to his business. So yes, it could drive a reasonable amount of traffic. He had like 4,500 impressions, so again, more people becoming aware of his business. One of the really interesting facts about this, though, is when the tweets were promoting an article on his blog, it was no coincidence in Kevin's mind that that blog actually got picked up and was featured on Business Insider. So he was getting a lot of it, which, for those of you that aren't aware, Business Insider is a news journal around business and technology, essentially. And Business Insider, if you get articles featured on Business Insider, I know from experience that you can drive a huge amount of traffic from that website. And of course, it's all organic, i.e. you don't have to pay for it. So you pay for your Twitter ads. If Business Insider pick up an article of yours as a result of your Twitter ad, you're going to get a whole lot more traffic come through from that article, not just the Twitter ads themselves. So in summary, Kevin spent around $50 on promoted tweets, and it allowed around 4,500 people to see his business, and he drove 130 people through to his website. So was that $50 well spent at that point? Yeah, I would say it was. Promoting an exceptional piece of copy which got picked up by other publishers, and being able to drive 130 clicks to your website for less than $1 a click in the design, consultant, strategist kind of sector, he'd be paying well over 55 cents a click if he was doing it through other channels. So yeah, probably okay, but I would definitely suggest, if we were running this campaign for Kevin, is to maybe make sure he cuts out of those hashtags altogether and the usernames all together, and just focus purely on driving that website traffic, making sure he's using that bit.ly short URL. So hopefully you found these useful. I will be adding more. If you want me to add any more, like I say, drop a note in the discussions. Let me know what sector you're in, and I will do my very best to record some new case studies for you, give you some inspiration, some ideas, that sort of thing. Take care, guys.